Hello guys, this is Mr. Barasa, and today I'm going to discuss on how you are being trained or you are trained to be poor. So there's this guy called Robert Kiyosaki. So Robert Kiyosaki, he's a popular author. Kiyosaki. Yeah, Robert Kiyosaki is a popular author by the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you haven't Rich Dad Poor Dad, so he actually written this book in 19 back then. So this guy is actually a popular author of this book. He talks about the finances of how people are being trained by the system becoming poor, and they really hold on to that system, and at final they become so poor and they die poor just as they were born in some cases. So today I want to talk about how you are trained to be poor, and maybe if you don't know, I'm going to talk about 5 ways on how these things that hold on you to be poor unknowingly. So you'll always wonder why these things are always right from home to school to system, government. That's how these things have been programmed. And without further ado, my name is Mr. Barasa, and today I'm going to take you through 5 ways on how they actually train you to be poor. So let's get started. Number 1, it's mindset and beliefs. So many people believe that money is always the beginning or the source of evil. Is that true? This is a debate that can actually take the whole day, and people will actually talk about one or two, and we can all disagree and agree. But actually, this is what holds on so many people. Yeah, you here maybe you're watching me today, knowing that if you get money, it can be a source of good things. But others think that getting money will help, will now create evil from that. And by saying that, they actually say that getting money is actually the source of evil. So that's how the mindset and beliefs of other people actually think about money. But it's not true. If you're evil, you're just evil. But me, personally, I would not like to enter into that kind of argument and belief. I mean that debate because it's something that we will never be able to find out the truth behind it. But the reason number 1 why people mostly don't like to get or to have what you call financial freedom is that they think money is the source of evil, and that's how they have the mindset and that belief. So that's number 1. Number 2, it's a lack of financial education. Very good. Have you ever, if you've gone to school, like primary, you are told go to primary, after primary you have to go to secondary, after going to secondary you have to go to education, to tertiary education. That is if it's college, if it's campus, university, institute, whatever call it. There's one thing that I'll actually agree with you, we'll all agree. Have you ever been taught on how to save? Have you ever been taught on how to invest your money? Have you ever been taught in school on how you can raise an emergency fund? Money that will allow you to save whenever there's a rainy period, whenever you lose a job, that's the money that you can use in that period as you look for another job. Have you ever been taught anywhere of finances, how it works? Have you ever been taught on how you can escape poverty in school? There's no such course in school. There's no such unit in school. There's no such unit in campus. There's no such anywhere that will be taught on financial literacy. But rather, These are the skills that you need to learn for yourself. These are the skills that you need to get out of the school and learn them if you are willing to go ahead and know how it works. Why? Because they know if if this financial education is taught in the school, then they will have no people to work for them. And that's how the rich actually put you down there to work for them as you are programmed to. You know, we are all programmed to work. That's how school teaches us. So if you are programmed to work for others, the only way you are thinking is you have to go to school to get a good grade. After getting good grades, you'll get a good job. After getting a good job, you'll get to live a good life when it comes to financial freedom, but there's no such a thing. If you follow the matrix, you'll end up dying as poor as you were. Maybe not as you were, but you'll not be able to get the financial freedom. When I talk about financial freedom, I'm talking about you going to vacation, you spending out days the way you want, you having the money that you want, and you can never be work all over your working period in terms of retirement. You can retire early. You know, we as Africans, we are told retirement is all about age. But trust me, retirement is all about when you feel like you want just to go and retire. That's the period for you to go and rest, for you to go and do vacation, for you to go and start traveling, to see the world. That's what we've been hidden to see. So if at all there was financial freedom, then most of us could not have gone to school and followed the matrix as it is. So that's what is being hidden. Because if they go ahead to impact that knowledge in school, they automatically lose workers. And trust me, that's what we are programmed to do. Go to school, get a good job. After getting a good job, you go to the system of working for the rich, as money is being made from you being a modern slave. A modern slavery is the case that back then, at the slavery era, whenever at that point when slaves were actually being used, they were being paid on basis of clothes, shelter, and food. So actually today you're being paid that pay that can only sustain you when it comes to providing yourself clothes, providing yourself shelter, and providing yourself the needs in terms of food. That's it. If you don't have to think outside the box, you will actually remain to be on that basis of sustainability when it comes to job. Now, number 3 is called fear and risk aversion. So most people, just like me back then, I used to fear much. Whenever I'm having like maybe extra like maybe 30,000 or even 40,000, and even like just 10,000, when someone tells you, you can take this money and invest somewhere. I'm like, oh, that thing can't work. If I go ahead to invest, I will lose my 10,000. That's the fear that we have of risk. So in this world, if you can never risk into business, if you can never risk into taking an action, I'm told that's how we are programmed. We are being told, if you take this money to risk, you can go ahead and do it and lose that money. But right now, there are these things called NSSF, NHIF, all that. You are being told, go ahead to save in this NHIF, NHSF things for your retirement in order for your retirement safety programs in terms of security is well catered for. But what you are forgetting is, you yourself, you don't want to risk that money to invest, but you are trusting the government to do it for you. Not knowing that this money that you're risking to invest for yourself or invest more for yourself, but instead you only rely in NSSF, NHIF for your retirement plan is actually being invested Yeah, it's actually being invested, and the returns actually they belong to the visiting government. Call it. That's how these things work. For your case, you don't want to risk, but the government is doing it with your money. And even at the end, they keep back and forth in terms of if you go to acquire this money after you've retired. Yeah, it's very true. People will actually go to these offices and NHIF and SSF, and NSF and NHIF, in terms of getting this money, mostly in SSF. You'll actually go there if you're in, I'm talking about if you're in Kenya, NSSF, yeah. Actually, you will go there and struggle so much when it comes to acquiring this money. And just after you've retired, you'll get a problem. Now, number 4 is lifestyle choices. Yeah, we all want a good life. We all want a good lifestyle. I mean, we all want to drive big vehicles, Porsche vehicles, like Mercedes, like Lamborghini. In Kenya, roads are so bumpy, not Lamborghini, but yeah, Lamborghini. If you just want to be around the town, but in Kenya roads are so bumpy, Lamborghini can't be used. But if at all you want to drive these Land Cruisers, the one that politicians do use mostly, they usually use big vehicles that are gasless. So that's the lifestyle we want to live. Taking vacation, etc. So most of the people actually live in this. And this is being sustained on a paycheck. So actually most people live on a paycheck to paycheck basis, where you get money today and then you want now like to live a lavish life. You take that vacation, you come back with nothing. Again, after you earn, you go back, you go dine out, you go have party, you go on the beach, you have those vehicles that are gasless, but at the end, you are being sustained on a paycheck, that payslip of yours. So that's the lifestyle choices that actually people do make, that eventually you are trained to be poor at the end of that payslip when it comes to retirement. So what happens if you retire? You cannot sustain that lifestyle. Now that's the point where you find you are now entering into debts. You are now have a mental issues. You are now stressed. Why? Because the life that you are used to is no longer there, because it was just a paycheck. But as for you, you have now retired. Now, I've just told you yourself, even it can take time for you to get this money. And now you're living on a paycheck to paycheck or to sustain your lavish lifestyle. Is that really important? So number 5, which is the last way on how they train you to be poor forever, is dependency on a job. Yeah, dependency on a job. We all, at one point or another, you must have a job. And that's how we've been trained. That's how the school is training you for. The school is actually training you to be the perfect employee, just like a robot. Someone will come to you and tell you, if you don't do this, I'll make you to resign. What do? You are so happy. You want to make your boss so happy because that's what you are trained. Get me well. Getting a job is not good, but get that job and have a mindset not to be in that system. Try as much as possible to own your system. So if you open a business, and that business goes ahead to boom, it does well. So what happens is that business is yours. You can go ahead to open a company. That's where you earn the system. Now, there's something that you never know. If you have a company, if you own a business, there are some privileges when it comes to taxation that you, as an investor, you go ahead to enjoy them. But if you're there working for others, there's no single day you will enjoy those privileges. I'm telling you today, there's no single day you will enjoy those privileges. Why? Because there's something that they want you to depend on that job for you to make them money. But instead, for your case, you're always on a modern slavery. You've been chained. You're told, you're told, even if the contract says you have to report at work at 8, but you're being told you must report at 7:15 a.m. Why? You have no choice. You will wake up and go. As much as you don't want, you will do it. But when you go this way of having yourself thinking outside the box and thinking it in some years to come, because this one will always take time. It's not a rich quick game. You will always find it better here than depending on a job. Now, all this actually, it's something that if you want to learn more on it, as I've told you, this guy called Robert Kiyosaki is the one who wrote this book. This book actually taught me more just on this and other things, just the way I've just shared here today. So these are just some of the things that actually you are being trained on how to be poor. If you've liked any of this, I would like to know mostly what you've liked most among these 5 down in the comment there. And remember subscribing kindly. Just subscribe and like that video kindly, just like. I would like to know what you've liked so far in this video, as I'll be making more video in the next video. Here is all about money, finances, and finance literacy. Thank you once again for clicking onto this video until this far. See you next time. Thank you.